Today, I'm gonna turn your favorite desserts into character designs. Well, of course, I specifically don't know everyone's favorite dessert, but I chose almost everyone's favorite because it should be fair, right? Okay, so first up, it's pancakes. I mean, who doesn't love some good pancakes? Well, actually, pancake is not a dessert, but I really wanted to turn it into a character design. As you guys can see, I'm working with the base because when you're doing anything, you need a base, right? Well, in here, it's actually the sketch. So I'm actually trying to make the hair look like honey, like it's falling out of the hair. And it's kind of looking like that, I guess. For the eyes, I actually wanted to make one eye really cute and the other one is winking. It's like pancake is trying to get you, like hitting on you. Okay, that's a lame joke anyway. I'm pretty sure you noticed the strawberries and blueberries on the top. Well, I actually forgot to record. My bad. After the sketch, I usually draw the outline because that's really easy for me to fill in the colors. Now it's coloring time. So for the face, I went with kind of yellowy and light brown because pancakes are kind of like that color. Okay, that's enough of talking about the drawing. Let me tell you some things about pancakes. So basically, pancakes are actually super ancient. We are talking about older than your grandma's grandma's grandma. The idea of cooking batter on a hot surface goes back thousands of years. Some historians say pancakes were one of the first prepared foods ever made. Ancient Greeks and Romans had their own versions made with wheat flour, olive oil, honey and curdled milk. So next time you eat a stack of pancakes, you are basically taking part in a centuries-old breakfast tradition. And they didn't stop there. Pancakes have gone global. Every country has its own special version. In France, they have crepes, thin fancy pancakes that you can fill with Nutella, strawberries or even ham and cheese. In Japan, there's this, I'll put the name, I don't know how to pronounce that, a savory pancake stuffed with cabbage, meat and sauce. It's like a pancake and pizza had a delicious baby. In Russia, they make blinis. Small and delicious, often eaten with sour cream and caviar. And in America, we've got the thick, fluffy kind that soak of syrup like little golden sponges of joy. Now, here's something fun. Pancakes even have their own day. In many countries, there's Pancake Day, also known as Shrove Tuesday. It started as a way for people to use up eggs and butter before Lent, but really it's just the world's best excuse to eat pancakes non-stop for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Here's another fun pancake fact. The world record for the largest pancake ever made was set in England in 1994. It was over 15 meters wide and weighed more than 3 tons. That's about the size of a small swimming pool. Imagine trying to flip that. You would need a crane instead of a spatula. There's also another record for the highest pancake toss. Someone managed to flip a pancake over 9 meters in the air. That's taller than a 3-story building. Now that's breakfast workout. Okay, now I think that's enough of pancake fun facts. So here we go. Pancake into a character design. I believe this is everyone's favorite. Cake. Well, here I went with a funfetti birthday cake because I can do some good details and who doesn't like funfetti birthday cake? So here for the hair, I went with 3 layers because it's a cake, right? There are tons of layers in a cake. So basically hair symbolized the whole cake here. So if we talk about cakes, like in ancient times ago, cakes weren't the soft spongy things we love today. The first cakes made by the Egyptians were more like sweet bread. They used honey, nuts and dried fruits to make them taste nice. Basically, it was like a fancy loaf of bread pretending to be dessert. Fast forward to the Middle Ages and people in Europe started baking fruitcakes and gingerbreads. But it wasn't until the 17th century, when sugar became more common, that cakes began to look and taste like the ones we know now. So yes, before that, birthdays were probably a little less exciting. Now let's talk about how many kinds of cakes exist. It's honestly mind-blowing. There are sponge cakes, butter cakes, pound cakes, chiffon cakes, mousse cakes, and the super fancy layer cakes that look like they belong in fairy tale. And then there are the wild ones like Japanese matcha cake, the Italian tiramisu, the Filipino ube cake, or the American red velvet. It's like every culture has its own delicious way to say, let's celebrate. So here's a funny little fact. The world's largest cake was baked in 1989 for the 100th birthday of the city of Fort Payne, Alabama. It weighed over 58 tons. That's like having a cake the size of an elephant herd. Can you imagine how many candles they would need for that? But not all cake facts are just about fun. Some are heartwarming too. Did you know that wedding cakes were originally a symbol of good fortune? In ancient Rome, the groom used to break a piece of bread over the bride's head. Thankfully, they stopped doing that. But over time, it turned into sharing a sweet cake to symbolize love, happiness, and a sweet life together. And if you thought cake can get fancier, get this. In 2013, a bakery in the UK created the most expensive cake ever, worth over $75 million. It was covered in diamonds, sapphires, and edible gold. I mean, imagine cutting into that. One slice could literally pay for your house. Cakes have also gone viral in the funniest ways. Remember the everything is cake trend? When people started slicing random objects, a shoe, a cactus, even a roll of toilet paper. And surprise! It was all cake. That trend made us question reality. Suddenly, no one trusted anything in the kitchen again. But no matter how fancy or funny cakes get, they always come back to one simple thing: joy. Cakes are at every celebrations. Birthdays, weddings, holidays, even just I had a bad day kind of moments. It's that dessert that says, you deserve something sweet today. Now, if all this cake talk didn't make you crave a slice, you're strong than most people. But if it did, go ahead, treat yourself. After all, as the saying goes, a party without cake is just a meeting. With the cake talks, we are almost there. And here we go. Funfetti birthday cake turned into a character design. Here comes my favorite dessert, ice cream. Like, who doesn't love ice cream? Well, basically, here I went with 3 layers of ice cream with 3 different flavors: vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Also, for the face, I went with chocolate color, and of course, I didn't forget the cherry on top. Okay, now let's start way back. Believe it or not, ice cream's ancestors were enjoyed thousands of years ago. Ancient Chinese imperials used to send servants to the mountains to collect snow and mix it with honey, fruits, and milk, kind of like the earliest version of ice cream. Later, the Romans got into on the fun. Emperor Nero was said to have ordered snow from the Alps mixed with fruit and juice to make a chili dessert. So basically, ancient royalty had their own cold dessert delivery service. I think that's enough of ancient ice cream things. Now let's hear a fun fact. The first ice cream cone was accidentally invented at the World's Fair in St. Louis. A vendor selling ice cream ran out of bowls, and the waffle vendor next to him rolled up some waffles to help out. Boom! The ice cream cone was born. So basically, a little teamwork gave us one of the best dessert inventions ever. And speaking of amazing facts, did you know that it takes about 50 licks to finish a single scoop of ice cream? Go ahead, count next time. You will look a little silly, but it's for science. The world record for the largest ice cream sundae ever made weighed over 24 tons. That's enough to give an entire city a sugar rush. And here's another record. The most expensive ice cream ever sold cost over $6,000 a scoop. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's made in Japan, and it includes rare white truffles and edible gold. Imagine dropping your corn of that. That would be the most expensive 5 seconds of your life. And here's a cute little fact. July is officially National Ice Cream Month in the US, and the 3rd Sunday of July is National Ice Cream Day. So yes, there's literally a day dedicated to celebrating ice cream, as if we needed an excuse. So next time you grab a cone, take a moment to appreciate the science, history, and happiness in that tiny scoop, because life is full of up and downs, and sometimes you just need a pause. Take a big spoonful, and remember, everything feels better with ice cream. Here we go. Ice cream turned into a character design. thank you so much for everyone who watched this video until the end, and let's see from the next video.